Assalamu alaikum and welcome back to the channel. This is Red Prep and building up to Manchester United visit to Molineux to play against Wolves in the midweek roundup of Premier League action. Both Man United and Wolves progressed through to the fifth round of the FA Cup just a couple of days ago and resumed their Premier League campaign after the intervening winter break. Manchester United last played in the middle of January against Tottenham, which was a home draw for them. Wolves also are coming into this match at the back of six unbeaten matches, five at home in the Premier League. They've only lost two games. They've won against the likes of City, Newcastle, drawn against Aston Villa at Molineux, and they are a formidable side, especially at home. Coming to the head-to-head for both the teams, obviously under Ten Hag, we won all three matches against Wolves, 1-0, all close matches. In this season, the opening fixture was against Wolves at home, and United never deserved to win. I actually thought Wolves dominated the midfield and showed so many chinks in the armor for Manchester United. And that was the start of the collapse that we've seen in the last few months for Manchester United. Wolves also wanted a questionable penalty right at the end when Onana bumped into their striker. But I don't think there was a clear-cut error from the referee. But Wolves will certainly take confidence from the match, from the narrow defeat, and they have picked up their form in the recent months. Under Gary O'Neill, they've been astounding. I watched them play, and they have so many danger men in terms of the pace and power in the wide areas. Up top, whether it's Pedro Neto, Huang, who has gone to the Asian Cup, will be missing in action. But they have the returning Pedro Neto, who's played last couple of games. Also, CUNHA and Sarabia have been in great form recently. In midfield, they have rampaging power, somebody like Lemena. In the back line, they play with back five, which they have played even under Nuno Espirito. And they have been really convincing, especially at home, against even the big sides. Certainly for United, it will be a tough day at the office, especially considering their away form. In terms of their style of player, obviously we've seen them play at Old Trafford already this season. They have a lot of ball carriers. They've got pace and power in midfield, and they can play on the counter. And they also have some technical players who can build from the back. And someone like Kilman in the back line is also good in terms of distribution. Their keeper, Jose Sa, is also an experienced campaigner. He's been quietly an overachiever, really, the last few seasons. So they'll be a formidable side for Manchester United. In terms of their danger man, of course, Huang isn't available. He's away in Qatar for the Asia Cup. But they have the likes of CUNHA, Sarabia, and Pedro Neto, who have been in hot form recently. They've scored a lot of goals, and they always look threatening with those three up front. In midfield, they have the likes of Lemena, João Gomez, who've got the steal as well as the inside. In terms of opening defenses through the midfield. Obviously, since the opening fixture, they don't have Matheus Nunes, who's gone to Manchester City, but overall they've got everything covered in terms of their defensive ability to show pressure as well as hit teams on the counter attack, or create danger from the wide areas. Let's move to the tactical board and break down the prospective lineups for both the teams. For Manchester United, I think we'll stick with the 4-2-3-1, and since the trio of Martinez, Casemiro, and Morano back, I expect them to stay. I also think Onana will be brought straight back into the team, because Cameroon was knocked out of the AFCON over the weekend. I'd like to see Bayern this start, but I don't think that's going to happen. Obviously, Shaw looked completely off pace, but he'll definitely start. And so was Garnacho. He was also abysmal, atrocious against the likes of Newport. I definitely think he'll start over Rashford, who's kicked up another media storm for Manchester United. Anthony got an assist and a goal, so I think he'll stay in the team. HOJLUND also got a late goal, so I think he should be all right. He hasn't looked sharp recently, and maybe it was his illness that he suffered after the Aston Villa game, but I definitely want him to get an early goal and just play with that confidence over the remaining part of the match. Obviously, Fernandes and Meno have to track back. They have to provide cover for the likes of Casemiro, especially in this area, because Wolves have plethora of players who've got immense amount of pace, and they are especially designed for the counter-attacking style that we saw in the opening fixture. So I think United will set up like this. For Wolves, it's quite straight. They play with the back three and two marauding wing backs. Obviously, Doty have been playing on the left since Aid Nori was, I think he was injured, but I expect him to come back into the team. He's somebody who's underappreciated in the Premier League. He's got a nimble feet. He's really quick, and he's really great at dribbling with the ball and providing that breakthrough runs in the final third. So I think he'll be dangerous. Obviously, with the midfield, they've been playing with Doyle and Lamina. I expect João Gomez to come in for Doyle, but if he sticks with Doyle, I think they'll do a decent job that they've been doing. With Sarabia, Neto, and Cunha, they're formidable front three. They don't have too many goals because Huang is away at Qatar for the Asia Cup. But Neto and Cunha can chip in with goals. Sarabia has also scored a few goals, but I've been really impressed with his physicality because with his stature, we assume that he won't be suited for hustle bustle of the Premier League, but he's applied himself really well for the last couple of months. So I expect a formidable away day for Manchester United. I think the battle will be in this area in midfield, and if the likes of Fernandes and Menu don't track back and cover the runs of somebody like Lemina and Sarabia and Cunha behind Neto, I think it could be curtains for Manchester United. If they get an early goal, I think it could be a cricket score. And United have to stay compact and if possible, try to get an early goal and just soak the pressure for the rest of the match and hit Wolves on the counter attack because they'll be forced to come up the field to chase an equalizer, and with the likes of these fullbacks marauding forward and these three centre backs who are almost left on their own, there would be plenty of pace for the likes of Garnacho, Anthony, though he doesn't have that much pace, and HOJLUND to counterattack on the Wolves side. I'd want to see Rashford start in front of Garnacho, but with the recent controversy with his fine and all, I don't see that happening. But this is the setup I expect for both the teams on Thursday. Make no bones about it. Even though United have progressed to the fifth round of the FA Cup, they weren't convincing against Newport County. They weren't convincing against Wigan Athletic. Obviously, against Tottenham, they got two goals on counter attack, but they were thoroughly outplayed with the likes of Oliver Skip and Højbjerg in midfield. And this Wolves side will be raring to go against Manchester United, and they've got all the tools available to them to cause danger and cause damage to Manchester United, especially considering the likes of Martinez and Casemiro, who have just recently returned to the first team action. This could be a tough away day for Manchester United. And if Wolves get an early goal, it could be a procession. With another PR scandal with Marcus Rashford, things have been difficult off the field, but sadly, it's been the garbage football that we have seen on the pitch that has been more concerned. United don't seem like a team that has been playing under a manager for the last 18 months. They seem disjointed, they seem disenchanted with Erik Ten Hag, and I wouldn't be surprised United go on to have another losing streak starting with Wolves at Molineux. Please join us for the Red Dissection episode for the Wolves match. Inshallah, we win. I don't have much confidence in the team, but inshallah, we can get a smash and grab and just come back to Old Trafford with 3 points and still remain in that race for top four. So until we meet again, take care, do good, pray for Palestinians. Assalamu alaikum.